The thing that differentiates Europe Direct Canary Islands from the rest of the Europe Directs in Spain is that the Canary Islands, and therefore its Europe Direct, it is located on one of the ultra-peripheral islands of Spain. Therefore, we are really far away from the European continent, and we have, even though we are united in diversity with the other Europe Directs, we have another series of problems, concerns, weaknesses, and virtues that affect our daily lives. One of the most important things that makes a difference between the other Europe Directs in Spain is that the Canary Islands its people are very concerned about the environment and all the environmental policies that the European Union implements. Therefore, the Canary Islands are in some way a laboratory for all these policies that the European Union decides to implement in whole Europe. The reason for this is that the Canary Islands have a great diversity of plants, a great number of recognized parks and natural parks. Another concern that affects our daily life is that the fact that we are so far away from the European continent, it is more complicated to explain its citizens what is the European Union and what are the benefits that the European Union gives us. And therefore, us, through Direct Canary Islands, must make a greater effort to explain the citizens what is the European Union, because we always have that risk and that concern that the citizens of the Canary Islands may not feel European or feel too far away from it, or maybe feel that Brussels, their glass of tower, is too far away from their characteristics. The Canary Islands is a region rich in customs and traditions. Many of them are related to festivals. One of the most important traditions and what distinguishes us, the Canary Islands, is the Carnival. There are many of them that are celebrated throughout the year, and every island and every town has its own way of celebrating it. It is an event full of energy and an excellent way to get to know the history and culture of Gran Canaria. Carnival, it's much more than a celebration. It is a quintessential Canary Island festivity. It's an explosion of joy and color, of rhythm and movement that floats in the street. During the celebrations, we, the Canary Island people, dress up in colorful costumes. We create handmade crafts. There are plenty of games for children. Of course, there is plenty to eat and drink. Another unique event that takes place in the Canary Islands around the same time is the disembarking of the Indianos in Santa Cruz de la Palma, another island of the Canary Islands. It's a fun recreation worthy of the La Palma Carnival that commemorates and characterizes the islanders who return from the West Indies, particularly from Cuba, when the island inhabitants dress in white from head to toe and participate in huge talcum powder battle as they dance to the sound of Cuban music. Important issues coming up now with the Spanish presidency of the Commission is health. Recently, the health commissioner came to the islands because there was an informal meeting of the presidency on health. And because of that, we organized an event for the European Union, Health and the Youth. That was a very interesting event because the European Commission came, as well as some experts in the field, and all the youth associations in the Canary Islands were invited. All together, they try to draw some conclusions, they try to find some ideas and to try to explain how, especially the youth, saw this big problem. They try to see what the health in Europe needs and what they thought of this new European Union initiative. In order to bring the European Union closer to the people in the Canary Islands, we have organized a lot of different events, especially a lot of debates. Our focus was to center these debates on young people, especially on the problems that these young people, which are the future of Europe, are having after the pandemic. We organized also other events about health, and especially on mental health in Europe and the youth, because Europe is very concerned about the mental health of young people. And in the Canary Islands, there is a very high ratio. We have also organized many events where we explain to young people in high school and universities the opportunities that the European Union gives them to work and study abroad. We also, through these events, try to explain the benefits of the Conference of the Future of Europe that has for young people, in which a representative from the Canary Islands, chosen at a random, was the first to speak when the conclusion of the conference were given. So yes, we have been very successful in explaining how European policies and how the European Union affects the lives of people in the region, as well as how it can improve them. Other events that we have organized address the issue of immigrations. These events have been organized together with other peripheral cultures that often have the same problems. Because we are so far from the European continent and we are close to two other continents, for example, America and Africa, we have a lot of pressure from migrants who come to our region. For this reason, we have demanded through the peripheral cultures of Europe that an agreement on immigration be made, which contemplates aid for these regions that are the most affected, and also so that these can move around the continent, because most of the migrants who come do not want to stay in these regions, but see it as one more step to reach Europe.
Una serie de privilegios. Yo creo que la Unión Europea no solo nos tiene que ver como regiones subvencionadas, sino como regiones con muchísimas oportunidades que aportamos muchísimos valores a la Unión Europea. Gracias al Estatuto de las RUT se pueden modular determinadas políticas en la Unión Europea que a nosotros no se nos pueden aplicar porque estamos en condiciones diferentes, y también podemos tener un frente común para que la Unión Europea entienda que aparte de la Europa continental hay otro tipo de regiones que merecen ser escuchadas.